Good evening, all. I hope you're doing well. Okay, we will start for the day. Good evening, sir. I hope my voice
Yeah,
is audible.
yeah, your voice is audible. Hi, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, you can start the sessions.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I hope my screen is visible for everyone. And my
Yes,
voice
sir.
is audible, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, sure. Yeah. So yesterday we discussed about OSA layers, and we see what is the difference between private IP and public IP, and we see few more things like what is protocol and what is the protocol services, and we saw a lot of things. Today we are getting into the actual part, like this is the main part of this is the entry point of the cybersecurity, we can say, because we did some basic, we learned some basic things about cybersecurity initially. So today we're going to see how to analyze the port number, how the hackers will analyze, and how they will get into the system, gain the access of the system. That everything we'll see in the today concept. So first thing we're going to see about port analysis. Okay. So port analysis is the first things we're going to see in the today concept. Port analysis in the sense, uh, you have a target. Okay, you can consider any target like you have a banking, any industry, manufacturing, finance, or else medical industry. You have so much of industry in that you can consider server or else website or else individual personal system, whatever you can consider. Okay, so if you want to hack that target, if the attackers want to attack that target, first what attackers will do that. So you just consider this is the target system. Okay, just imagine any target. Okay, like Google, Facebook, or else whatever you can imagine that. Okay, this is your system, just your PC. Okay, so to attack this target, first what we do, we need to do some information gathering. Information gathering. Okay, then we do as per once we get all the information, what do? We do some analysis. So using that analysis, what we do, we try to get the access of the system, access of the target. Okay, so while collecting some information about the target, we'll understand so much of things. Not only like operating system and what and all the services are running. We'll come to understand more than that. Is there is any security layers are working on the, to before reaching the target system, is there is any security layers are running, or else for what purpose they are using this servers. So everything will get understood. We'll come to know that by doing some information gathering. Okay, so that we see how we can able to perform that. Okay, so for that we're going to use some of the specific tool called Nmap. Okay, this is the most familiar tool. Even if you go for any industry, once you get the target, first we run the Nmap scan. Through the Nmap scan, what we're going to do, we'll collect some information. Though with the help of that information, we try to exploit the target. That is the actual part. Okay, so anyhow, but here we are saying hackers try to attack. So I'm using that words, right? But actually, in organizations, so once you get the target system, we do the testing from the attacker point of view. Now we are not actual attackers. Okay, we are doing the testing from the attacker point of view, and we are giving the solution to that organizations. Okay, uh, solution in the sense, they will provide the system. Okay, they will say that we need to check the security for this abc.com. Okay, abc.com, and they will say I have one more server. Okay, so abc.com is one of the site, and there is a one server. It's like a Windows server. Okay, so they will say that we need to check the security for these two things. Okay, for we will what we do. Sorry, something happened. Okay, so this is the Windows server. So what we do, we'll do some attacks from the attacker point. They will consider, okay, we are like attackers. If we can able to get the access of the target, and if we can able to misuse that, then the attacker can also do the same. So that's why we are doing the security testing from the attacker point. Okay, but we are not actual attackers here. Okay. So once we do the analysis, and once we get the information analysis and exploit, finally what we do some reporting part. We'll explain to that client, okay, so I did this and all. I found this and all has a problem in your target application and target servers. So you need to use this type of remediation to fix this all the issues. The reason why we are doing attack, I mean, even we can able to we can think like, okay, directly we can give the solutions. So even we know that, okay, outdated version, our outdated service should not in the any target. Yeah, all the system should be up to date. Even if we are using Windows, some application in the Windows, that application should be the latest one. So we know that, and we need to implement the firewall. We need to implement the antivirus. Then we need to implement restriction. Okay, who all want to access my system, that restriction we need to implement that. Everything can give the suggestion. Okay, but that are all the common suggestions. Okay, so if you go to anybody, they will say the same. Okay, these are all the common suggestions. So common suggestion will not help you to secure the entire application and server. You need to do some deep analysis to I mean, to give the proper solutions. You need to give the proper solution, because even they know that they use the updated versions. Even they use they will implement the antivirus, they implement the firewall, everything. Okay, even though I mean, the attackers will try to bypass that firewall, and they will try to get the access. If that's happened, right, so you need to provide actual problem. I mean, okay, so actually where that problem occurs, through which problem you got the access of the server. So you need to properly mention that point to info, I mean, suggest the solutions. So that's why clients are asking to do the penetration testing activity on the application, on their server, everywhere. Okay, so for that penetration testing activity, so there is some certain standards. Certain standard in the sense, if there is a network penetration testing, like network penetration testing in the sense, firewall, router, servers, for that and all, we do the penetration testing activity, we do the security testing. For that we use some sort of standards. Okay, it's what standards we use some of the organization will use OSS TMM standard. Some of the organization will use NIST standard. What is the actual standard means? Just imagine you are doing security testing for some of the organizations. Okay, so you are providing solution. Okay, you found some of the problems, like around 10 problems. You are listing down 1 2 3 4 5. You are listing down in the document, and you are explaining them. Okay, this and all the actual problems I found in your target application and server. You need to use this type of prevention method to avoid the attacks. For after that, the client, if some client, the client will ask that, okay, so I did all the prevention mechanism whatever you suggest, but I have one question: is there is a way to hack? Even if I implement all the security whatever you suggest me, I implement all the security, is there is any way to attack my target, or else not? So that time you need to answer in the proper way. So sir, no one body can able to attack your servers whatever the suggest I given, right? That is I mean, I mean, that is the solutions which I did some of the standard testing. Okay, because I run some of the standard test cases. Through that, I found the problems in your application. For that problems only, I given the solutions. Okay, that standards are called OSSTMM, NIST. These are the proper industry standards. Whenever we do this testing activity, we need to follow these specific standards. Okay, so then only we can able to do some proper, I mean, we can able to do the proper testing and proper solution to that organizations we can provide. Okay, so the standard in the sense, it's a basic things, I mean, not like a mm, so much of technical. So once you get the server, okay, now we're going to see about the server. Okay, now in the today practical we're going to see how to attack the server, how to analyze the port number, how to gain the access of the server. So that scenario we're going to see today session. Okay, today entire classes. So for that, first we do some information gathering. So that already I told you, information gathering. Second one is like enumeration. So enumeration in the sense, you can consider that, okay, once you got the information, you are doing some analysis deeper on that particular information. You are getting some operating, you come to know that, okay, so the target is running with some Linux operating system, and the target having some of the services are running, and the using that information, we do some deep analysis on that. Through that deep analysis, we'll got some of the uh, point to exploit the target. So after did the enumeration, we do exploit. Okay, exploit, and we'll try to get the access of the server. Once you get the access of the server, what we do, we'll do the post exploitation. So post exploitation in the sense, whenever you are getting the access of the target server, you will not get the complete access. So anyhow, when you get the access, right, you have only the partial power. It's like a low user privilege. You are a normal user. Once you get the access, you are a normal user. You don't have proper complete permissions. You have lot of restriction on the target system. So what we do, we need the complete access of the system, like admin access. Then only we can able to perform more attacks, and we can able to do whatever we want. So what attackers will try to do, post exploitation, they try to get the administrator access. Once we do that post exploitation, fifth one is like we try to for, I mean, we try for the persistence. So persistence in the sense, so we exploit the target, and we got the complete access of the system, I mean, like admin access. Even though I try to maintain the connectivity in the sense, so even though I got the access, right, so if I want to do the attack, if I want to take the access of the server again, I need to perform all the steps, like enumeration, information gathering, and I need to perform all the steps to gain the access of the server again. So if I may take the persistence of the particular target, what happened, whenever I want, I can directly log in into the server. I don't want to follow the entire steps again. Okay, that is called persistence. So once we do that, we do the reporting. Okay, so these are the proper standards. Okay, so if you, when you are interacting with the client, you need to say that, so whatever the findings I have given in the report, I have followed those steps to analysis your server. So after that only we are providing the report. So these are the industrial proper standards I am following. So once you do the, I mean, once you did the mitigation, so that is a proper things. So whatever, I mean, nobody can able to gain the access of your server again. Okay, you need to inform them. And okay, that I will explain the later part. Okay, so there's a few things I need to say, but that I will explain once I did analysis of the port, and once we get the access of the server, that time I will explain what I try to say right now. Just leave it. And so yeah, so this is the standards we are going to follow. Okay, so now I'm trying, I will open my Kali Linux. I have one more system called Metasploitable. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, Metasploitable, I'm going to consider is my target system. Okay, Kali is my attacker system. Okay, using Kali, I'm going to attack. Metasploit, I'm going to consider as a target. Okay, just give me a minute. It will open. I think someone raised the hand. Yeah, you can. If you have any doubts, you can drop the message, or else you can unmute and you can ask me the doubt. Okay. So this is my target system. I'm going to check the IP address. Okay. MSF admin, MSF admin. So IP config. Sorry, if config. Okay. So actually this is my target IP. So you can see here 192.168.1.69. This is my actual target. Okay. So I'm going to do analysis on this particular target. So as of now, I'm just keeping my system and I mean Kali and target system in the same network because I don't have any specific server to launch these things. So if someone want to try with the same IP, you will not get the access because I just launched in my say local system only, not in the proper server or in cloud. Okay. Yeah. So as we discussed already, so I need to collect some information about the target. Then only I can move for the enumeration, exploitation, post-exploitation part, everything. So first I need to collect some sort of information about the target. From this information, I need to understand about the target. Because whenever you're getting the IP address, right? So when you are working in the organization, you will just get the IP address of the target. That's it. You will not get any additional information, and you will not get permission to access that server. Okay, because some of them are thinking that okay, I know how to create a malware. Once I drop the malware in the target device, if someone's click that, so I will get the access of the target. So in real world it will not like that. So we need to do some analysis without touching of the target. We need to get the I mean we need to try to get the access of the target system. Okay, so if we do like that, the same way the attacker will do, because attacker will not have the permission to access my system. There is no possibility to send the malware to my system. So that is not possible, and we can't able to do that as well. Okay, so the actual IP is so 192.168.1.69. First I'll just note down the IP. 192.168.1 yeah 69. Yeah, this is my actual IP. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to run the nmap scan against this IP, and I will collect some information. Okay. So nmap space hyphen s capital letter T. So hyphen s in the sense scan, hyphen a t t. I mean capital letter T is TCP scan. So I'm just telling nmap to perform the TCP scan against this IP. Okay, so yesterday we saw what is TCP and UDP, and we know that TCP is a actual protocol. Under the protocols, there are a number of protocol services. Okay, so here I'm trying to collect what are the protocol services are running under the TCP in this target system that I try to collect here. Okay, so I mean actually why we are collecting those information, because based on this information we come to know what is the actual purpose of that server and what actually they are running in that server. Everything will come to know. Okay, so you see here, you can see a number of services are running in the target system. You can see here FTP, SSH, Telnet, SMTP, domain, HTTP. There are so much of services. Okay, so even the same Nmap scan, if you try against the Google, right, you will see only two ports. I'll just show you that as well. See here, I'm running nmap -s capital T for I'm running for the Google. Okay, directly I'm giving the google.com here. You see, you can see here 80443. But if I run the same scan against my IP, so you see a number of ports are opening. The reason, what is the different here? From this output, I try to understand, okay, this is actually web server. Okay, so if I try to do some attacks against this target google.com, even if I get the access also, I will not get any sensitive data. I will not get any uh, I mean hot code, I mean passwords or anything about the Gmails. Nothing I will get. I'll just get only the search engine details. Search engine in the sense. So whenever we are trying to access Google here, we are getting some website right here. About this website template, I can able to get from this particular server, but I will not get any username, password, database access or nothing. Okay, so based on those information, we can able to understand for what actual purpose they are using this particular server. Okay, even you can ask me that, okay, so you are saying that only the Google is using I mean that google.com is maintaining only this particular template, not anything others. So you can, but we can see here Gmail, I can able to log in directly from here. Everything's are happening from this domain only, right? You can ask me that. But actually, if I click on Play Store, if I search for the Play Store, you can see the domain here. So I'm just clicking here. You can see play.google.com. Actually, this is the different domain. Okay, so it means that they are maintaining that Play Store on the different server. Okay, the reason is that, so if someone's tried to get the access of, even if someone get the access of this google.com, okay, they will get only the template. They will not get any sensitive data like Gmail user credentials or nothing. Okay, so before, I mean, even though the attackers will try to get the next server access, like where the database located, everything, the attackers will try to get that access. Meanwhile, the Google security team will block that user and they will try to find what happening in their server and who is that actual persons. They will react once they get, I mean, not even able to get the access, but even if the attackers get the access, try to get into the next level of servers, right? Like a database server, whatever it is, there is a team. They will sure they will found and they will stop the access. Okay, so that is why they are keeping multiple server for their products. Okay, if you see here, you can ask me, okay, then why this particular server having a number of service in the same server? The reason is like, some of the organization, what they will do, they will feel that, okay, why should I invest so much of cost in the server? They feel that, okay, anyhow my application is running properly, right? Then why should I invest the amount? Okay, they will, because for security, I mean, most of the organizations feeling that cost is the major things to implement the security, because if they want to implement the security, sure, they need to spend some amount to implement the security. Okay, but mostly the organization feeling that, why I need to do that? Okay, even they, some of the organizations will say that, okay, already, if we say that, okay, if we need to do some security analysis on your website, they will say, already I implemented the HTTPS traffics. Okay, then it means no one can able to attack my server. They will feel that, okay, it's not a problem. I mean, it's not a specific person problem. So the thing is like, they will think to spend some amount on these security areas. That is the things, because if see, if it is a small organizations, if they want to create a separate server for the separate services, you can see here a number of services are there. Okay, FTP is one of the service, SSH is one of the service, Telnet, SMTP, domain, HTTP. If they want to implement each services in the different servers, sure, it will take so much of cost. Okay, so that's why they are implementing everything in the same place. Okay, but actually this is not a proper security measures. They need to implement some, I mean, they can implement HTTP domain in the same server, and they can able to implement SSH service as well. But other services they need to implement on the different servers. Okay, because FTP is like a file transfer. If the user want to transfer some file from their system to the target system, so that time only the FTP will use, but not all the public user need this FTP access. If I just think Google having only port 80 and 443, instead of this, you see that there is a port number, um, same 21, FTP is running. Okay, FTP in the sense file transfer protocol. Okay, so internally in their organization, they need access of the STP, FTP services. But as a public user, I don't want to see that. I don't want the access of the FTP, because I don't want to share anything from my system to Google server, or else from Google server to my system. I don't want to get anything, and I don't want to share also. Okay, so that time they can implement some separate servers, and they can handle only in the internal networks. Okay, so based on the services, we can able to understand those things. Okay, so here we see a number of services are there. What on FTP, SSH, Telnet, SMTP. Even though you can ask me one more question. Okay, how these services are getting activated? The thing is like, so just imagine this is your server. Okay, just first I'll just show my IP. If config, so this is my actual IP address, 192.168.1.66. This is my actual IP address. Okay. So what I'm doing now, copy. I'm going to do nmap scan for this system. Nmap-s capital letter T. I'm just pasting my IP. Okay. You can see here there are no ports are open, but the system is available in the network, but there are no ports are open. The reason, there is I didn't enable any single services. Okay, now what I'm doing now, service Apache 2 start. Okay, so Apache 2 is the web service. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm trying to enable the web service in my Kali Linux. Okay, so I'm just hitting enter. So again I'm doing the nmap scan. Okay, you see port numbers is running 80, port number 80 is running. Even I'll just open the browser. I'm just typing that IP 192.168.1.166. Okay. So I'm hitting enter. You see, there are some websites are running in this particular system. Okay, you can ask me from where this website are getting launched, because I'm just running the command in from my terminal. Okay, here you can see huge number of files are there, but specifically I'm getting only enter value, and I see only the submit button. I see only the website, but in my system you can see there are so much of files and so much of codings. So much of things are there. Okay, so actually once I activated these services, if someone is trying to access my IP from the browser, directly it will reach this specific folder. Okay, slash, there is a folder called var, and once you reach the var, there is another one folder called ww. Inside the ww, there is a folder called html. So inside this folder, you see there are program files, index.php, pass.txt, phpinfo.php. Even you can see that I'm just copying this. I'll paste here. See, this is my password, admin at 1234. So whatever the uh, files I'm just maintaining in this particular folder, you can see over the browser. Okay. So this Apache service will not allow you to access any other folder other than this, other than HTML folder. It will not allow to access any other folder. If it is allowed to access that, then it's a vulnerable. Okay, fine. So if you guys have any doubts till this, you can ask me. Um, can we do this using MSF? MS terminal command, in the sense I'm not able to get your point. So can you please explain? Elaborate this question. Which part you need to I need to explain again. If you mention any specific point, I will explain it. Or else you need the complete concept. Okay, I think Nmap complete. Okay. Yeah. See, just imagine Nmap is like a tool. Okay, nmap is just a tool, will help you to collect some information about the target system. Okay, so here I just taken three different target. One is You can see one of the target is this one. Okay, this is one of the target. I'm just running in my local system. Okay, that is one of the one more target is Google. Okay, then another one target is same Kali Linux. Okay, the first what I try to explain that. So once I mean this is the first basic command. Okay, whenever you get the IP address, this is the first basic command will run. Okay, nmap -s capital letter T, and we run the we add the IP. Okay, so hyphen is capital letter T in the sense TCP scan. Okay, so I'm just ask my nmap tool to run the TCP scan again this IP. Once it's run that scan, right, I will get all the service information, whatever the service is running in that target system, I can able to see here. Okay, so FTP, SSH, Telnet, SMTP, these are all the services. Okay, and I mean before doing analysis on this particular target, we should know what is actually FTP, what is actually SSH, what is Telnet, what is SMTP, what is domain. So we need to at least we need some basic definition about that particular services. Okay, FT, I mean this and all the protocol services. Okay, so we need some basic definitions. FTP is like a file transfer protocol. um, yeah, so I'll explain that FTP is like a file transfer protocol. In organization, if someone want to share the file, okay, so from one system to another system without using any pen drive or any other additional hardware, we use this particular service to transfer the data. Okay, so that is the FTP services. SSH in the sense, if you want to get the complete access, okay, not just sharing transferring the file, I want the complete access of the server. Okay, that time what service will help me? SSH. Only in the Linux. Okay, SSH will work only in the, by default, it will be in the Linux. This will work for the Linux operating system. Okay, if you want to get the access of this Linux system, I will use SSH service to get the access. Okay, mostly Telnet will use for the network hardware device. Okay, network hardware in the sense, if there is a hardware called router, switches, or else firewall, if I want to get the access of this particular network device to my system, that time the telnet will work. Okay, telnet will work. But you can ask me that, okay, so you say that only for the network device the telnet services will work, but here we are running the scan against the server only. Okay, it's a Linux server. Okay, it's a Linux server. We are running the scan against this Linux system. Okay, even though we are getting the telnet here, mostly we use the telnet for. I'm trying to say that mostly we use the telnet service on the network devices. Okay, even though we have there is a possibility to activate the telnet service in your Windows. Even there's a possibility to activate the telnet service in your Linux as well. Okay, but mostly we'll use this telnet service on the network devices here. Okay, and you can ask me one more question that, okay, so here SSH is also there, telnet is also there. Okay, uh, how can how can I understand, okay, what type of operating system is this? Because here I am showing that, okay, this is the actual target. We are going to do the analysis. So I already shown you that what actual target is. That's why we know that it's a Linux operating system. Okay, but here I'm just saying that, so SSH is for Linux system, telnet is for router. Okay, so router, switches, firewall, likewise. So in this case, if I want to understand what target actual operating system is, then I need to do analysis on the remaining part also. Okay, if you scroll down, you can see here. Okay, just a minute. We need to add one more scan here. Okay, one more flags. Okay, this is the actual command. What I'm going to do here now, I'm going to add one more flag, FNS capital letter V. V in the sense version detail. Okay, so I'm just trying to get few more additional detail about my target. Okay, here we just get only about the what and all the services are running like FTP, SSH. Only we see that what and all the actual services are running in my target system. Okay, so now I am trying to get few more additional information. So whenever you are adding extra flags, it will take time to give the information. So because it's that I mean the nmap will reach the server and it will do some additional analysis to get the information about the target. Okay, because if I say only TCP scan, will get only what and all the services are opening. If I add -s capital letter V, it means version scan. It will add few more details about the target. Okay, that's why it's taking time. And even yeah. Okay. No, you can use the same command in any Linux. Even though if you install the nmap in the Windows as well, the same command. There's no different. The tools commands are same for Windows, Linux. Even if you are running in Mac, the same commands. There is no different. That I mean, I will explain that because just now we see what and all the services are running. Not even we see how to exploit that FTP services. Nothing. We just see only what is FTP and what and all other services are there. We just see services. What and all the services are running. That's it. Yeah, I will explain that how to find the vulnerable. We not at even touch that. Okay, we just seeing what and all the services are running. That's it. We not at touch how to find the vulnerability, how to exploit that. Anyhow, we're going to see that in today class, but we go one by one. See, actually, this is the Linux command. So tomorrow classes, I will explain you about the Linux command. The command why I just mentioned, I'll show you there because whenever the Apache service, you activated the Apache service in your Linux or any server. Okay, so if someone is trying to access, I mean, actually, the Apache service is like a web service. We know that. Okay, Apache is like a web service. If I activate this Apache in your Linux as well. In your Linux, you can able to land some of the website. Okay, so you can ask me that. Okay, from where I need to add the program to launch the application. This is the specific folder you need to add the programs. Like I mean website application programs. You from here only you can able to launch. This is the actual path. We can say it as root path. Okay, if so, you can see this is the my Kali system IP. Okay, uh, I'm just trying to open it from my browser. Okay. So you see that enter value and you see some of the input place and you can see the submit button. Okay. But actually, this is my Linux server, right? In this server, you see a lot of files. So you can see linpiece.sh, you can see thread matrix. So you see a lot of, there is some of the CVE folders. You can see many things. But specifically, you are getting from this data from some specific folders, right? So this is the actual folder. You are getting the data. Where where is one of the folder? I mean, here I just type from the command I show you, but actually it everything's are the folders here. Okay, so if you go here, so this is my C drive. In C drive, you can see var folder. Inside the var, there is a folder called ww. Here you can see the HTML folder. So this is the files. Okay, so I'm just adding all the web application related files in this specific folder to launch the application. Okay, once I activate the Apache services, so whenever someone try to access your IP from the browser, this Apache server will redirect your request to this specific folder to show the data on the browser from this directory only. Okay, because I never run any services in my Kali system. That's why I show you that. Specifically, I just activated the service Apache 2. Okay. Service Apache 2 start. Okay. Because in Linux, without activating any services, it will not enable any ports by default. Okay. So we need to manually configure and we need to enable it manually. in Linux. In Windows, there is a chance, okay, even if you not activate any port or any services, you see some of the services are running. But in Linux, not like that. You need to activate it manually, okay, by running some commands like this. Okay, then only you can see what and all the services are running. Until that, all the services are in closed state. Target IP only we have the two ways. One, they have to inform you the target IP. Until that, we don't know, because in organization they will not provide any IP. I mean, they will have n number of IPs. Okay, I mean, sorry, n number of servers. They will not provide you the IP address just like that. So before even they are providing the IP to the organization to perform the security testing, right? They have some mutual understanding. They will do some contract signing, like, so when I'm giving the IP to your organization people and your employee should not reveal my IP to anybody. There are so much of restrictions. Okay, that's why we'll not get any IP about the target. Even we know that they have more so much of servers, like 100 200 of servers, but will not get that IP, because they know that if the IP got revealed, sure there is a chances of attacks. Okay, so mostly they will not give the IP. Even though if you want to find the IP, you need to find some of the method, and you need to do some analysis like OSS. I mean, um there are some of the methods that I will explain, what methods you can perform to get the IP. That I will explain. If I explain that right now, right, it will take to the different way. So I will explain that how you can do that. Yeah, I will share with you. Just give me a time. I'll share with you, because first we'll complete the concept, then I'll share. Oh, the reason why I'm running everything in the root terminal, because some of the commands will not work in the normal user. Okay, so that's why I'm just using the root terminal. Other than that, nothing is there. So actually, Apache 2 is used for activating the web service. If you want to land some website in your system, right? You need, I mean, if you're using Linux, if you want to activate some of the, land some website, you need to activate the Apache 2 service. Once you activate, then only the website can be launched. What works are doing in Kali? They act like Linux. So in Linux, why? So I'm not able to get your question. Can I explain bit deeper here? Yeah, I will share. I will share. Okay. You can see here, see, but once I run the TCP, we got only the specific services information here. Okay, so now I added the few more detail. I mean, one more flag called version hyphen S capital letter V. V is the version detail. So even if you see here, you see the port number 21 is there. Okay, state is open. Services FTP. You can see the version here. EVS of TPD 2.3.4. Okay, so even you can see here Apache services, ICS, ISC bind, postfix SMTP, Linux telnetted, then OpenSSH 4.7. You can see so much of services. Okay, this on all the version in details about this target. Version in the sense, see, actually, in my system, what I did, I just activated the Apache service here. Once I activate the Apache service, you can see website in my system. I can able to launch the website. So if I stop this Apache service, I can't able to do any website launch in my system. Okay. For this particular Apache service, there are few versions, version 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Okay. For example, I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, but actual the version will look like Apache 2 latest version. If you go and search in internet, you will get the what is the actual latest version of the Apache. So 2.4.66, this is the latest version of the Apache service. Okay, so here you can see the Apache service is 2.2.8. It means it's too old. Okay, it's a too old. It's outdated survey of Apache services. Okay, so the latest version is like 2.4.66. If while doing the nmap scan, if you see, okay, if you see some of the website version details like this, you can see some of the website version details, and you see what and all other services are running in the target system. Okay, if you feel that this is the outdated version, you can search for the exploit. Okay, so outdated version in the sense that the reason why we are moving to the latest one, major reason is like we have the some attack possibilities in that particular version. That's why we are moving to the latest. Okay, so even if you see here VSF TPD 2.3.4, okay, here you can see 2.3.4. I'll just check what is the actual VSF TPD latest version here. VSF TPD latest version. Okay, so you see that the VSF latest version will be 3.0.5. This is the actual latest version. But if you see here, this is the old version. This is the vulnerable version, we can say. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to search is there is any exploit for this particular versions, because this is outdated, right? I need to check is there is any exploit. So this is the procedure we are going to do. We are finding the vulnerable point, and we are trying to do the exploit, because first we did the nmap scan for the information gathering. We got some of the information, and we see that there are ftp sshs are running. Okay, but we feel that this is not enough information for the exploit. So what I am doing here, I'm just giving few more flags, -s capital letter V, to read the version detail about each and every services. Here I got like vsf tpd 2.3.4, so much of things. uh, in this case I feel that this is the outdated, because yeah, while I'm searching in the internet, I see the 3.0.5 is the latest one. Okay, it means this is the outdated old version. So if there is a old version, sure, we can able to search for the exploit. Okay, so what I'm doing now here, so I'm just typing this and I'm searching for the exploit for this particular version. Okay, so you can see here VSF TPD 2.3.4 backdoor command execution. Backdoor command execution in the sense, the backdoor command in the sense, there is a possibility to execute some command in that target to get the complete access of the server. Okay, that is called backdoor command execution. Okay, so there is a possibilities. Okay, now what I'm doing here, I'll just scroll down, I'll see the description here. So the most of the exploit malicious backdoor that was added in the VSF TPD 2.3.4 version. Okay, the backdoor was introduced into the VSF TPD specific version achieved between June 30, 2011. Okay, so and July 1st, 2011. So they achieved this exploit between this particular date, according to the most of the recent information available. Okay, so and you can see this particular exploit. Okay, if you want to do this backdoor command execution, it will work only in the Unix platform. If the same VSF TPD version 2.3.4 is running in your Windows, right, that time it will not work. Only in the Linux platform it will work. So what we need to do, we need to cross verify whether my target is Linux or not. Okay, because I see that 21 port is open, FTP is open fine, version is also fine. Okay, so because in as per the description, everything's so fine, but here the platform they mentioned that only in the Linux. Okay, only in the Linux. So Linux in the sense, only to work on the Linux platform. So what I'm doing, if you scroll down, you can see some of the bit more information about the target other than running services. You see here, OS is Unix, Linux. So we confirm that my target is a Unix platform and running in Linux. Okay, so this is also fine. Then they given some few commands. Okay, so to success, to get the success of this particular exploit, we need Metasploit tool. Okay, actually Metasploit is a tool will help to get, do some attacks. Okay, even we can say that is the most dangerous tool. We can able to do some exploit, but in currently nowadays Metasploit are not giving that much things. Instead of Metasploit, you can go with Cobalt Strike. We have Silver. There are so much of tools similar to the Metasploit framework. But even though we can use Metasploit, that's not a problem. But if you go with a Silver, uh, then we have a tool called Cobalt Strike that and all will give. Um, I mean, comparing to Metasploit, that and all a bit advanced. Okay, we can go with that. Okay. So till now, if you guys have any doubt, I can explain. What is the different types of server and how hacker easily hack the complete information by decoding? See, actually, the hacker is not decoding any information from the server. Okay. So actually, attacks will happen in the two way. Okay, attack will happen in the two way. One thing is like, okay, so if you see here, there are some services. This is the VSFTPD 2.3.4 services. For this specific services, already exploit are there. Okay, already exploit are there. Someone found, okay, exploit about for this particular versions. So you can directly use this exploit to gain the access of the server. Okay, sometime for some of the server, even though it is outdated. Okay, for example, you just take this one, HTTP Apache HTTPD 2.2.8. Okay. For this, I'm trying to see if there is any exploit. Even though we know this is the outdated version, I'm just trying for the exploit. Okay. So Apache HTTP 2.2 vulnerable and 2.2.8 vulnerable. Okay. So SQL injection, you can see here. Okay. So SQL 2.2.8, we have only SQL injection here. Okay. Not like directly you can able to get the access of the server to that specific versions. Okay, each on every version there are different exploit, and there is a chance some of the version not have the exploit also. Okay, that time we need to move on to the another part like misconfigurations. Okay, so misconfiguration is the um, most of the organizations are doing everything in the proper way. They will do, proper updates. They will keep everything in the up to date. But there is a possibility of attacks because of misconfiguration. If we take the site, okay, demo.testfire.net, we have a site called demo.test.fire, testfire. Testfire.net. Okay, so we have a login page. Okay, what I'm doing here, I'm just giving admin, and here I'm giving um first if I hyphen I'm giving some password here. Once I click on login, I can able to log in here. Okay, see here you can see hello admin user. So I just logged in as a admin here. Okay, you can ask me what is the actual problem here. If instead of admin, if I give any other user, okay, if I give any other user like Tom, okay, I'm giving username called Tom and I'm giving some password. You see that we are sorry, but this user or password was not found in our system. Okay, we need to use the actual username, proper username. This username should be in the database. Then only I can able to perform this attack. Okay, I can do the SQL injection. Without proper username, I can't able to bypass the login. If I give some password, random password here, see, I can log in here. Okay, so here the misconfiguration in the sense, instead of admin, they can use any other name. Okay, or else they can use the specific who is the admin, right? They can use the specific person name also here. Okay, instead of that, what they did, they just mentioned admin has a admin here. So what I did, I easily I can able to guess and I can able to bypass the login. This and all the we call this or we call it as a misconfiguration. They implement the proper security, everything's are proper, but what I did, simply they use the admin as a admin user. Okay, so I just guessed and I did login. I can log in here. That is called misconfiguration. Most of the attacks are possible because of the misconfiguration. So we do configure, okay, but we don't know what actually we need to configure it properly in the secure way. Okay, that is the thing. We are revealing the information, that's why hackers can able to get the access of our system. Without our help, they can't able to gain any information from the target. Okay, it's not decoding, they are trying to collect as much of information. Whatever the information we are revealing from the from our side, right, they will collect all the information. Finally they will find the point to exploit our target. Okay, What are the way to be save the hackers or attackers? See, actually, for a normal system, that is fine. We can say you can update your system and you can able to install. You can install antivirus. You can say some basic things. But if you're specifically, if you're asking for the application, if you're asking for the server, you need to fix everything step by step. Okay, so everything step by step in the sense. See here. Okay, first thing is like here, I know the username, that's why I can able to bypass the login here. This is the first point. Okay, I know username, that's why. If we go and say that, okay, please change, if we are suggesting that, please change the admin user from different username. Okay, if we say that, if we think that this is the actual solution, this is not actual solution, because even if I know different username instead of Tom or admin, if I come to know any other username, for that user also I can able to bypass. We need to say that proper way. Okay, so admin is one of the thing, so remove the admin user and keep some other name as a admin. And even though you need to filter, if I am giving some inputs like this, right, the application should filter, I mean, properly remove this info details. Okay, even though if I give this, the application should remove properly and it should take this application user details only. The application should not consider this and all. Okay, they need to fix properly like this. So each and every stage of application, I mean, if you're clicking any input from here in this application, you need to do some security checks. Same like server. Okay, we can't say only updating and activating, implementing the firewall antivirus. That is not actual solution here. Yeah, you can do social engineering. Yeah, you can do social engineering to gain the IP address as well. Yeah, that is also one of the way. See, this is not like Google is not, I mean, the way, I mean, if there is a new service getting launched, right, there is a I mean, mostly you know that bug bounty platform. Okay, in the bug bounty platform, what happened? So if you are running launching some new application, right, so they will, I mean, if the company is launching some new application, they need to perform some security. What they will do, they will upload their website and they will upload their URL, everything in that bug bounty platform. So there are so much of cybersecurity professional will perform their security testing on that particular application. They will try to find is there is any vulnerable. Okay, so not directly by using the tools, they will use some logic and they will understand the application. Sometimes they will understand the application code level. From the code level, they will find the way to exploit the target server. Okay, so this is not, I mean, we say that, okay, this is helping us to easily exploit the target. Okay, but actually how they are finding, they are understanding the entire program. From that program, they are finding the actual vulnerable to get the access of the server. Okay, so after that, they are just creating some of the program or tools to exploit the particular target. So here what we are doing, we are just typing that and we are hitting enter, we are getting the access. But in backend, they found actual, they know the actual code, they know where the actual is the actual problem. So after that, they are creating these tools, everything. They are writing the codes, not we can't say it as tools. They are, I mean, the cybersecurity professionals are writing in the program way. Okay, they will write in the code. For some of the exploit, we can I mean, what to say? We can search in internet. You will get the exploit. For most of the exploit, you need to understand the logic. You need to write your. I mean, you need to bypass that logic. Then only you can will get the success response. Okay, this is one of the way. But mostly, the logical thinking will help you to shine in the cybersecurity professional. You need to understand the complete logic. You will not get all the exploit from the public sites. I mean, proxy list in the sense we have different proxy. Which proxy you are asking? I am not able to get that. So if you ask me that, I can explain that specific things. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just running Metasploit service in Kali. So to run Metasploit, sudo su. So I'm just, I mean, the reason why I'm giving here sudo su, I'm running Metasploit in the root user. Okay, so msf console space hyphen q. Sorry, hyphen q. Okay, so msf console will help to open the Metasploit framework, and q is like I'm just requesting to open it quickly. Okay, that's why. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I'm just copying this. Okay, I'm just copying this complete exploit, copy, and I'm pasting here. Okay, okay, so here I paste that exploit, and now I'm just typing options here because after this I don't know what to do. So once I type the options, the tool will give me the idea what and all I need to add to exploit my target. Okay, so you can see the name, current settings, required, description, everything you can see here. Okay, so in required field, if you see the yes field, right, so in yes, I should not keep anything empty in the current settings. If I keep it empty, right, I'll show you that what happened. So if I type exploit, it will give me the error failed to validate R host, because R host is the main thing to exploit my target. If it is empty, the tool can't able to understand, the tool will not do any attack. Okay, so I'm giving here set R host. R host in the sense my target IP I need to provide here. Okay, R host in the sense remote host. Host means PC. Okay, I am just mentioning the target IP here, 192.168.1.69. This is my actual target. Just a minute. Yeah, 1.69. This is my IP here. Okay. Okay. So now what I'm doing, again, I'm just typing options. I'm just confirming that whether the IPs get added or not. And for other fields, it's not required because it's mentioning no. So I don't want to add anything. If you want, you can add. Otherwise, we don't want to add. We don't want to prioritize these details. Okay. Once I added the IP, what I'm doing now, I'm just clipping. I'm doing exploit. Exploit. So here you can see the port use the backdoor bind listener is already open, and you see that found shell. Found shell in the sense we got the access of the target. I'll show you. I will just cross verify it. So if I type if config right, this is the command to check the IP. You can see 192.168.1.69. This is my actual IP of my target. See here, you can see this IP 1.69. Okay, so even if I try to create some files right here, what I'm doing now, I'm going to create some files here. ls mkdir. I'm just typing. Um, I'm just typing XLR. Okay, sorry, I just given some additional words. No issue. I just type Raj. Okay, now I'm going to my Kali cd/home. Here I'm just running the Windows, I mean Linux commands. Okay, so trying to get into some of the folders to read this particular files. Okay, because this files I created in the msf admin folder. Okay, you can see here home/msf admin. This is the actual folder. By using the pwd command, I can see which folder currently the terminal is working. Okay, so I see that home, inside the home there is a folder name called msf admin. This is the actual folder name, msf admin. In this folder I just created these two files. Okay, so that's cdmsf admin. I'm just typing ls. You can see the files whatever I created in the target. I can see it from here. Even you can do whatever you want. You can do everything. You can remove the file. So your So I'm just sorry, orm-rf Raj. So I can remove the file from here. So you see that the file got removed. Okay, so now we did the exploit based on the versions. Okay, if there is an outdated version, there is a possible of exploit. I mean, not 100% possibility. We need to check that. So there is a possibilities. We need to check how much possibilities. Here for VSF TPD 2.3.4, there is a possible of command backdoor command execution. Even if you try for the same version based exploit for different services here, for Apache HTTPD 2.2.8 is there. If you try for this particular version, backdoor command execution is not possible. For this, we see that SQL injection is possible. Okay, SQL injection is possible here. Yeah, you can see here SQL injection. Okay, based on the services, the exploit will get different, and there is a chance of, I mean, there is a chance of DOS attack for some of the exploit. Some of the exploit will have OS command execution. Some of the version will have the remote code execution. So each and every exploit having the different exploit models. Okay, but here we just see only the way using the versions how we can able to exploit. Okay, so in the same way, if you want to find some of the misconfiguration, for example, here you got the version detail. Okay, VS of TPD 2.3.4, you got the version information. Instead of this, if you're not getting any version detail, even though if you run this particular scan, FNS capital letter T, FNS capital letter V, you are not getting any information here. Okay, for example, I'll show you for the Google here now. Okay, nmap -s capital letter T -s capital letter V. I'm just running this version scan for the Google now. Okay. So meanwhile, if you guys have if you have any doubts, you can ask me. It's take time to run. Just ask me. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. See, how I got the access, the reason is like I did the nmap scan first. First point is like, so I did the nmap scan. From the nmap scan, I've come to know that what and all the services are running. So okay, before this, I just run only the, sorry, TCP scan. Okay, so using this TCP scan, I just I got what and all the services are running. So after this services, I understand that okay, I need few more information to perform the exploit. What I did, I just run the version scan. So once I run the version scan, I see some versions are running in the target. Okay, so yeah, I see the 2.3.4 VSFTPD 2.3.4 is running. So after that, what I did, I just check what is the latest version of the VSFTPD 2.3.4. So from this, I just got the latest version will be 3.0.3. It means the actual service is running in the target is outdated. So if there is outdated versions, you can try for some of the exploit. Okay, like if you go on search in the internet, you will get some exploit. There is a public exploit for some of the services. So what I'm just doing, I just copy and paste it in the internet. I got this particular page like rapid7.com. Here you see that VSF TPD 2.3.4, there is a possible of backdoor command execution, and even they given the commands what command we need to run to perform this activity. Okay, and I got some clear information that only the Linux will help. Only if the VSF TPD is 2.3.4 is running on the Linux, then this exploit will get success. If the same version is running on the Windows side, then it will not get success because there is a platform dependency. Only it work in the Linux. So I just cross verify with the nmap scan. So in last I see that OS is Unix operating system. So I got all the points. I did the exploit. That's it. SQL injection in the sense, so anyhow, if you are creating some application, you will maintain some database, right? For that database, whenever you're doing some registration, it will properly store in your database. If I want to bypass, and if I need to get, if I want to bypass your login, or else I need to see who are all the user registered in your application, in your server, and in your organization. So I will do the SQL injection to get all the user credentials and everything, even whatever the fields you are I mean using in the registration form to collect the user details, right? That all information I can able to get using the SQL injection. Yeah, that I will explain in the tomorrow classes, because tomorrow we are going to see how to handle Linux and what is Linux, and how we are going to work with the Linux. Everything we are going to see tomorrow classes, because till now we see how to exploit the target. Okay, so once we exploit the target, there is a next step. There is a commands you need to run some of the Linux command to handle the target system, because will not get any graphical interface if you do some attacks, right? Even if it is a Windows or Linux, you will not get any graphical interface. You need to perform that. If your target is Windows, you need to perform the Windows command. If your target is Linux, you need to perform the Linux command. So without that command, we can't able to handle, right? So tomorrow the class will be like how you're going to handle the Linux. That time I will explain everything. Proxy in the configuration file, in the sense, if you want to do some proxy on the browser, right? That is the different configure. If configuration file, there is no proxy part. I'm just preparing on that. I'll once I share with Shushmita, she will upload, I think. Okay, so just give me a time. I'm just preparing, working on that notes part. Yeah, if there is a Windows, it's a different approach. See, actually, okay, so now will not see only one specific port. Okay, sure, you will see more than two, three ports are running in the target. Okay, so in the even though in this case we have so much of ports, we just focus only on this specific port. Okay, VSF TPD 2.3.4. We have so much of SSH is there, Telnet is there, SMTP is there. Okay, we need to check the security status for each and every port. Okay, so first we need to check for 21, then we need to check for 22, then we need to check for 23. Even you are facing the problem in the three ports also, there is a possible to get the access from the three ports. You need to prepare proper document, you need to provide the proper solution for that particular three ports also. Okay, you need to provide proper solution for that. Okay, so anyhow, you need to approach in the different way to see whether you can able to exploit, or else is there is any possibility of revealing some sensitive information, whether that sensitive information is helping you to get the access of the target. Likewise, you need to cross verify it. Okay, sometimes the sensitive information may be a direct credential, username, password. Sometimes the sensitive information may be like so here you see there are some of the services running. For this services there are no versions. Okay, there you can't see any version for that services. Through that sensitive information, if you got some version details here, right, then you can exploit that this particular 512, 513, 514 using those version details. Okay, so based on the information, you need to move on to the next step. So approaches will be different for each and every time. Even if it is the Linux also, now I'm considering target as a Linux. If you are seeing the same Linux again for in different places, the approach will be different. You can't able to do the same approach. In cybersecurity, you need to understand the concept, not like okay, only we have this the flow. We can't able to consider like that. Okay. Uh, for each and every target, even though it is a Linux, you have the different approach. Based on the output, we need to take the different step. See, first of all, TCP is the actual protocol. In yesterday classes, I explain you that what is TCP UDP. TCP UDP are the protocols. Under the TCP UDP, you see some of the protocol services will run, like HTTP, HTTPS, that and all will run. Okay. Okay, you are asking that HTTPD. Sorry. Uh, See, this is the version detail. I mean, how can I say that? Yeah, okay. So even you take my system. Okay, this is my Kali. What I'm doing now, I'm just running Apache service Apache to start. Okay. So once I activate this Apache service, you just think this is the Apache service I'm running here. Okay, I'm doing nmap scan again my system. Okay, against my system IP. First I'll check the IP of my system. Okay, this is my system IP. Okay, nmap -s capital letter T -s capital letter V. I'm giving my IP. Okay, you see that Apache HTTP 2.4.65. Okay, actually the HTTPD in the sense this is the actual services. Okay, so once you activate Apache services, then only you can able to see website. I mean, you can able to launch the website. Okay, this complete name of the Apache is like Apache HTTPD 2.4.65. Okay, just we are saying to activate the service Apache 2. Okay, but the complete name is this is the complete name. Okay, so when you do the nmap scan, so that time you will see the complete name of that particular version. Okay, so if you want to hide this, you can do that. But actually, I'm not at. I mean, still now we are just looking into the how to exploit by using the versions. Okay, when I'm going for the solution part, that time I will explain what we can able to suggest them if this type of version is disclosing publicly, because there is a possible of attacks, right? So what is the solution? Okay, I'll explain that. And I can't able to understand this particular. I can't understand the topics. What is this Linux or some is something you typed here? I think this is the Linux. Can you just I mean ask me the question once again, bit elaborate. Yeah, fine. Okay. So now we see that so this is the one version is the problem. Using that version, we got the access of the server. Okay. So if you want to give some solutions, right, we will help. I will suggest them. Okay. First point is like they need to upgrade this version to the latest one, because this is the outdated version. That's why attacker can able to perform some exploit. Okay. So they need to upgrade this version to the latest one. First thing. Second point is like. They need to disable this version. Okay, so if the version is not disclosing, right, uh, even that is a additional advantage, because attacker without seeing this version, attacker will not move for the next level. Okay, so because of this information, attack is trying to exploit, and attack is trying the way to exploit this particular target. Okay, so it means that you need to upgrade this to the latest, and you need to hide this version disclosing. Okay, so if you inform that, then server team will uh, do that proper configuration, and they will remove that version disclosing publicly. Okay, this is the actual thing. And if there is a, I mean, some of them are thinking that, so once we can able to do exploit, right, we need to suggest them to close this port number. Okay, so closing the port number is not a proper solution, because just imagine you are running your, or I mean you are running some e-commerce applications. You see that, okay, uh, if you run the e-commerce application, sure, you will run the Apache service, because once you activate Apache service in your web server, then only you can able to launch the website. Okay, so you found that, okay, there is a way I can able to exploit my target application using this particular version. Okay, so if you close that particular port number, right, that's it. You can't able to do any online business, because see here, once I activated the Apache services, I can able to load my website here. Okay, even if I close this, right, Apache to stop. Okay, if I close this, see, can't unable to connect. Okay, if I stop the services, then you can't able to launch any website, you can't do any online business. So actually this is not a proper solution. Okay, you need to give the solution, and that solution should not affect their business. Okay, fine. Okay, so then we have one more concept called misconfiguration. Okay, because I told you that one of the ways, like using version, we can find the publicly available exploit. The second thing is like misconfiguration. To find the misconfiguration, what I'm going to now do now, nmap. Okay, nmap hyphen s capital letter T hyphen s capital letter V, and even I'm adding one more flag called hyphen s capital letter C. Okay, and you should I mean Linux or the case sensitive. Okay, if you give the small c, right, the command will not work. You need to give the properly cap C, small s, capital letter V, small s, capital letter E, small s. Okay, if you change that caps and small, the command will not work. So now I'm giving my target IP 69. Okay, so for this hyphen s capital letter key is like a script scan. So this script scan will give me few more detail about the each and every port numbers. Okay, each and every services. In first scan I got one, come to know that what are all the services. In second version scan I got the what all the versions are there. Now the third scan is like script scan. Now in this I'm trying to collect few more additional information. Okay, so through that information I try to see is there is any misconfiguration on the specific services. If there is a misconfiguration, I'll try to exploit that misconfiguration to gain the access. Okay, so to understand the misconfiguration, you have a only way. You need to understand the complete server scenarios, because in server we'll configure the services. I mean, like email services, website service, and we configure every. I mean, whatever the things we are working in the real-time application, uh, data transferring over the network, and trying to access that server. So for each and everything, there is a individual service to send the mail, to receive the email. For everything, there are services. Okay, that all the services will configure in the server side. So you should know how the configuration is happening, because cybersecurity is not just like a. I mean, if you go and search in internet, we see that cybersecurity is the um, a way to exploit that. I mean, we exploit the target and we try to identify if there is any vulnerable. But the actual definition is like thought process. Once you know how that scenario is got developed, then only you can able to uh, exploit the target. Without knowing of that particular, what to say, knowing of that development part, we can't able to perform any attacks. So if you don't know, right, then we need to completely rely on tools. Without tools we can't able to do anything. Okay, yeah, misconfiguration in the sense, okay, I'll take the same site here. Okay, so here you have the username password. So once we, I mean, what we think once you while you are developing, okay, so if someone want to access the banking details or something, right, they need to log in. Without login, they can't able to see any payment details or anything. Okay, what I'm doing here, I'm just typing admin, and password is also admin. Okay, oh, admin. Okay. Okay, admin apostrophe hyphen. I'm giving some password here. Okay, I'm giving some random password. It's not a correct password for this user. Okay, I'm giving this some random password, and I'm hitting hit login. See, if you see, I can able to log in into this application. Okay, you properly create a website and you create a login page. You feel that if there is a username password field, without this credential, nobody can able to log in. But the problem is like, you create everything's are working fine, but not in the proper secure way. As the attacker, I just type admin, I'm just doing giving some script, and I'm typing some password here, right? Once I hit enter, it's get logged in. It means I don't want any password, right? Any user password. Once username is fine, user, if I know the username of any user, directly I can log in. This is the misconfiguration. You create everything properly, but if I use some sort of script, right, This login I don't want. Directly I can bypass. That is called misconfiguration. You create everything, but there is a place you, I mean, okay, okay, attendance, attendance form, okay. Okay, I think you understand about the misconfiguration, right? So what is actually misconfiguration? I mean, fine, okay. So if you see now, so we got a few more details about the target. So initially, I just use the version script. Now I am using the script scan. Okay, in script scan, you see here. So for FTP, you see that port number 21 is there. Open FTP version details, and you see few more details. So FTP server status connected to this, and you see here there is one of the line called end of the status. You see here FTP on, anonymous FTP login is allowed. So what is the meaning of this? I mean, if you want to access, I mean, FTP is like, we know that, file transfer protocol. Okay, if I want to transfer some file from this is my server. Okay, this is my normal client PC. If you want to send some file to server, I will use the FTP to transfer my files to this server. So to configure, I mean, to access this server via FTP, I need the username and password. Okay, once I know this two, then only I can able to log in into the server to access this uh, server files, and I can able to transfer the data. Without knowing of the username password, I can't able to transfer. Okay, so if the anonymous login is enabled, right, what I can do as a hacker, FTP space 192.168.1.69. Okay, so now I'm just giving the username as anonymous. Okay, the password also I will give as anonymous. You see here, login successful. I don't want the actual credential. I can use anonymous as a username, anonymous as a password. Okay, this is the actual misconfiguration. So actually what happening this, um, initially the server team will do some, I mean, whenever you are working in the organization, right, if you're creating some new server, uh, how can I say, okay, just to imagine, you are creating a new server. Okay, so the reason of creating new server, there is a some new project, then only your organization will create a new server. What they will do, they will do some configuration on the servers based on the project policy. Okay, based on the project policy, they will do some configuration. As per the policy, they plan to land some of the website, some website. Okay, maybe it's a e-commerce site, whatever it is, they are planning to land some website. And there is second scenario, they are planning to keep this server on the US or somewhere. Okay, they are planning to keep this server in somewhere. Okay, then they are planning to use this server for the testing. Okay, so if they are I mean, if there is any application is launching on the on this server, right, related to this new project, they will perform some sort of testing, and they will see whether the application working fine, all the functionalities are working fine. Every new version they will do testing on this particular server. Okay, anyhow, for the testing there are a few developers, like around, we consider there are 10 developers. Okay, so the 10 developer having the system, each developers are in the different location. Okay, if the so there is one developer in the India, I mean Delhi. Okay, there's one developer in Chennai. There's one developer from Bangalore. There's one developer from Coimbatore. So there are different developers and different places. Okay, so if this developer want to send some data to this developer, right, what they will do, they will load all the data to this particular server. From this server, this developer can able to take the data. Okay, they will use this server as a centralized server. From this they will collect all the details. Okay, So to transfer from this location to this location server, what they will do, they will use some sort of services like FTP. Okay, they do the configuration. So FTP, if the only for the internal user purpose, they can able to launch the FTP. Okay, if it is a public usage, if there is a, if someone from the public side, if someone want to send what to say, send some data to the server, they should not use the FTP service. They need to find out the alternate solution. You can ask me one more question that, okay, this the developer is from Delhi, this developer is from Chennai, the server actually is host launched in the US. Anyway, they are from the public network, I mean they are from some other place, they will use from the public Wi-Fi, right? Yes, they will use from the public Wi-Fi. What the organization will do, they will use the VPN. Okay, so VPN, I mean, most of them are thinking that VPN is like changing the location, not like changing the location. Once you use the VPN, so VPN will make you everyone in the same network, same Wi-Fi. I mean, it will create like a everyone are under the same Wi-Fi. And whenever you are transferring some data, nobody can able to interrupt the traffic, and nobody can able to see what actual data you are transferring to this server. Okay, they will use the VPN and they will transfer the data. Okay, so when they are doing some configuration, right, they need to properly configure that only one, two, three, four, only four users should log in, and they need to properly configure that what is the actual username password for this four users in this particular server. Okay, and they need to remove anonymous login. Okay, they need to remove the anonymous login. So the reason why I'm specifically mentioned they need to remove the anonymous login, because if you install the FTP service in the server, right? So by default there is a so much, I mean, major chances to keep that the anonymous login enabled. By default, it will be there. Okay, there are huge chances. That's why you need to cross verify it once the way FTP services get launched, right? You need to make sure this FTP service is only access for the internal organization users, even though they are from the different place. Use the VPN to connect the server. The second thing is like you need to properly configure the username password of each user in this server. Then only they can able to log in. If there is one more new user trying to access, you need to block that user. Okay, even though this user is the internal employee, you should not allow them to log in into this user. Okay, because these four are developers, these users are from other some other team. You can take they are from the sales team or else marketing team. So marketing team don't want to access the server, and they don't need access for this server. Okay, because this user is not a developer, right? So we need to properly maintain the security. So we need to make sure this all the things. If we miss to make sure this is called misconfiguration. Okay. So see here, so that's why I can able to log in directly. And if I type something, I can able to, okay, so it's got timed out. If you see here, I mean, I can run some commands here, ls, and if I click on help, you can see what and all the commands I can run in that FTP services. So everything you can see here. Okay. See, WhatsApps are there, but you can't able to use WhatsApp anything, because see, just imagine you are running, you are creating a new organization. Okay, you are planning to launch new business. You are creating everything. Okay, you are hiring somebody. Okay, now what you are doing, you are planning to launch some new product. Okay, you are planning to launch some of the new product. Okay, so just imagine there is if the employees working for your competitor organization. Okay, if your employee is working for the competitor organization, if you allow to access the WhatsApp, right, then sure, what the employee will do, that a competitor, I mean, that the employees who is working for the competitor organization, that employee will take all the detail and send it via the WhatsApp. Okay, so that way organization will not allow you to access any social media platform like WhatsApp, Gmail. You can't able to access any things like whatever the things you are using for the personal purpose, right? They will not allow you to access that. Okay, whatever the things you are, even though if you say that okay, they are allowing to access me the Outlook. Okay, you can access, but only the proper allowed domain only you can able to access. If you try to send some mail to the Gmail, right, you can't able to send. Each and every activities they will monitor, whatever the data you're sharing to whom and everything, at what date time, all the data will monitor by the organizations. You can't able to even share one single data without their permission to anybody. Okay, so because they need to make sure everything's are, because this is the misconfiguration. If you allow to access the WhatsApp in your office laptop, right, sure they will do that. I mean, if the employee is working for the your competitor, sure that our employee will do. Not, I'm not saying for the all employee. There's a chances, right, possibilities. Even we should not give that chance to lose your data. Okay, just imagine if that data is went to your competitor. Okay, I mean you are working for some A client. Okay, so that your competitor also trying to reach, I mean trying to get some project from the A client. What if your data, I mean your employee who is working for the competitor organization, if that employee reveals some information about the A organization, right, should that information will help to take A employee project, and that details will take you to the, I mean some bad things. Okay, so there the A employee, A client will say that okay, I'm going to quit the project from you, and I'm moving for some other clients. There is so much of chances for this. Okay, if you want my link, you can just type just a minute, I'll see. You can search I am Kumar Raj. If you search I am Kumar Raj, you will get my LinkedIn profile. You see my profile picture there. Yeah, so here is that. This is my actual LinkedIn profile. If you type I am Kumar Raj, IAMKUMARRAJJ double J. If you type this, you can see my LinkedIn profile. Okay, fine. So to, I mean if you want to use this, I mean if you want to try in your place, right, in your system, you just try to download, you guys try need to try to download this Metasploitable 2 missions. Okay, you can directly download from the internet. Okay, so just type Metasploitable 2 download. Okay, so if once you download this mission, sorry, so you can download from this site. Hub is the one of the site. If you click here, you can download it from here. Okay, so this is the zip file. Once you download, you need to configure in your virtual box, and in the same Wi-Fi you need to configure Kali Linux, or else you can, if your system having good spec, then you can configure both Linux and Metasploitable 2 in the same system. Okay, and just make sure both the system are in the bridge network. Okay, so if you click go to the network, you see the bridge settings here. If it is in the network adapter, just change it to the bridge adapter. And same way do it for this system as well. So I just go and change it for change it to the bridge adapter here. Okay, so if you change this, you can able to access this Kali from I mean you can able to reach Metasploitable 2 from the Kali. Okay, if both are in the NAT, then you can't able to do that. Just make sure that network should be in the bridge adapter mode. Then you can able to interact with the system, and you can do some of the testing activities like whatever we are doing now. You guys can able to do that. Okay, so tomorrow we see that how to handle the Linux command, and how what are the things we can able to do once we get the access of the system, to get the pre. I mean, we need to understand everything. So because tomorrow what we're going to do, we're going to see how the Linux file systems, and what and all the file systems are there, how you can handle the file Linux commands, and what and all the advanced command in the Linux, shell scripts, basically shell scripts, everything we are going to see in the tomorrow classes, because that all the things will help you to do the I mean do take it to the next level. Because once you got the access right, if you know that all the things, you know how to do the privilege escalation, everything. Because initially I told you that there is some of the certain stages. One is like information gathering, enumeration, exploit, we see till only here. Okay, so we have the post exploitation, we need to do some persistings, and we need to do the reporting. Okay, we just sorry, complete only the exploit phase. So tomorrow, once we know the entire Linux scenarios, then we can go for the post exploitation. Then we do other things as well. Okay. Yeah. So if you guys have any doubts, yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow I will explain how you can download Kali and how we can able to do everything. I'll explain that. So you can download. Just type the Metasploitable 2. I think I show you that website, right? So you just type Metasploitable to download. Once you if you give this, you can see there's one more website called Bul Hub. Okay, so if you click here, directly it will move on to the site. You can see download mirror. If you click here, it will this file will get download. You need to configure in your virtual box. So is there any doubt? I think we are good in today topics. I think everyone are clear, right? Contact number, I'll just discuss with my team. Then I'll share my contact number. Okay, but if you want my LinkedIn, you can able to get my LinkedIn ID. I need to, for contact number, I need to discuss with my team. Then only I can able to reveal that. So you can check. This is my LinkedIn ID. Yeah, sure. I will share you the notes. I think this session is directly streaming on YouTube also. You can able to uh, cover the missing topics from there also. And I think you will get the recording session as well. Yeah, just give me a time. I'm just preparing the notes. Okay, I'll share it with you, and I mean I'll share with the Shushmita. Shushmita will upload that report in your LMS portal. Yeah, I'll try to cover this point. Yeah, mirror, Metasploit. I mean, download mirror that you need to select to download that. Okay, I think I hope everyone are clear in the today topic. Yeah. Hello, Shushmita. I I mean, even today also we see the practical only. So how to do the analysis and how to do that exploit the target with the help of those informations. So yeah, I mean, if you also want to do the same, if you want to do the some, I mean, you want that machine, you can download from the internet. The machine name will be the Metasploit 2. You can download from that internet. Yeah. I think attendance link already shared. Yeah, that's already shared for the day 6. Metasploitable 3 also same like Metasploitable 2. If you want to do analysis on different system, right? So you can take over Metasploitable 3. Metasploitable 2 is one of the system. Metasploitable 3 is one more new system. You can take that as a target. You can practice on that. You can do the practice. It's practical in the sense you are asking about. You are asking how you can do the practice, or else you are asking about something for certificate. Okay, that I think you need to discuss with Susmita about this for the certification part. Yeah, okay. That's why I said notes I will share. Just give me a time. I'm preparing the notes. I'll prepare and I'll share with Susmita. Susmita will upload that in the that everything in your portal. Yeah, okay. I think everyone are clear. Okay. Hello, Susmita. Can you able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. I think today we are good to conclude the class.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sir, kindly share the materials which I will upload into LMS.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Good night. Okay, students, thank you so much. We'll wind up for the day. Thank you all. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thank you, everyone.